Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Mount Vernon Unitarian Church. I'm the Reverend Christian Schmidt, the interim minister of this congregation. Whether this is your first time with us or your 1001st, know that you are welcome here and we are glad to have you. Our church offers these Sunday services both in person and to our audience looking in on YouTube today. So whether you're here in the chapel or joining us from wherever you are joining us from, you are welcome. We gather to recommit ourselves to the mission of this church, which is to support one another in our spiritual journeys, to work for justice, to care for the earth, and to build the common good. It's good to be together. This is a community dedicated to welcoming the stranger, working for justice, and building beloved community, and to that effort, we remember and name the original indigenous inhabitants of this land, the Piscataway, the Powhatan, and the Toes. And we remember and acknowledge those enslaved people who lived and worked on these lands. Our work to dismantle systems of oppression toward a more just future continues. As I say each and every week, we have so many wonderful things going on. I have a few announcements, but I'm going to start actually by inviting forward Jim Burke for a brief testimonial.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm Jim Burke. I am on the MVUC's Program Council, where I volunteer as chair of our membership committee. I am also known as Mr. Circle Suppers. Today, I'm representing the volunteer men and women on our video and audio tech teams. Well, come on, take a bow, wave, come on. Might as well do it now. The pandemic brought a need for innovation in how we reach people with our Sunday service. Although we have always had robust audio support for in-person services, over the course of the pandemic, we transitioned to YouTube to share our services online. The call for helpers for the video fit in with my photo skills, and this service remains very important. MVUC expects to continue streaming our services into the future. Each Sunday we have around 40 viewers who watch the live stream and dozens more who view the recording over the course of the week. I volunteer once a month on the video camera controls. I have had a lifelong hobby with photography, so I have fun running the two cameras. But there is another reason that makes it more rewarding for me. I think the YouTube streaming of our service is another way to promote inclusion and be welcoming within our church. Being present and available beyond the geographic confines of our campus will be the foundation of our outreach and community engagement going forward. I joined a great group of volunteers that helped me learn the ropes of operating live video cameras. There you go. I'm running the cameras today, and Raleigh Romine is working the audio controls with some help today, actually to me by Doug. We do need another volunteer or two, especially for the video cameras and the live stream. Lynn Millett has stepped in recently to help fill an open monthly slot. But we all know how busy she is as communications chair. We benefit from her fabulous work with This Week at MVUC, Windmill Times and Spaces, and the website. Would also welcome folks with audio experience to support our sound crew. So please check out our video and sound information table today in the Commons for more information. Volunteering would be no more than once per month, and we will pair you with a buddy for the first few times as you are learning. Our team has several people that are always helpful in so many ways to those learning the ropes. In addition, Linda Walton and Doug Masterson have created detailed written instructions that cover the video task very nicely. You can be a bit of a movie director and broadcast your work to the internet. You can pan, zoom, and show wide views with our cameras. It's fun and creative, so please be in touch. Thank you from the audio and video volunteers.
Thank you. I do have a few announcements. First, our teens were going to have a table with LGBTQ plus resources today. We've had to postpone that, some logistical issues. Things happen, right? But just after service, take a few minutes to get coffee and some snacks, and I invite you to come back inside here for a presentation from our board about the budget for next year. We're facing some significant challenges. Your board is navigating that as best they can, and they want to let you know more about that. I do want to mention that one of the things we're really excited about this fall, I know it seems a long way away, but we're doing that planning right now, is our adult Our Whole Lives class, which is our comprehensive sexuality education curriculum. You may be more familiar with the versions we give to youth and children, but this is an adult program, and if you think you have nothing to learn about that, I guarantee you, you are wrong. So come, be a part of that. It'll be really exciting. What else do I have to say? Next Sunday is a very special Sunday. This is a really important week in the Unitarian Universalist annual calendar. It's General Assembly Week, so in Pittsburgh, thousands of Unitarian Universalists are going to descend upon that city for our annual convention and conference and business meeting. Why that matters here, in addition to the things they'll decide there about our association, is that next Sunday we are going to stream the service from there. So you'll be with thousands of your favorite Unitarian Universalists, but watching here on a screen. There's an issue with time on that though, because we normally do these services at 10. That service from Pittsburgh is at 11. So we are flipping things up a little. You can come early and do coffee hour from 10 to 11, and then come inside here and watch the service with some of your best friends. There will be nursery care. There will not be any formal children's programming. So if your kids are coming with you, they're welcome to. They're going to be with you. I think that's everything I was supposed to say. There is a lot going on today, though. This is my last service until mid-July. I'm taking some leave. And that service in mid-July will be my very last service with Mount Vernon Unitarian Church. Of course, your new settled minister will be starting in August. This is Pride Month, and all month long we're celebrating that. You can see that in some of our decor today. Today is Father's Day. I'm excited to note that my father is right there in the second row. And tomorrow is Juneteenth, which I'm also very excited about. I'll say more about all of this later in the service. And my point there is just to say that whatever of those or anything else in the world you have on your minds and hearts today, I hope this service speaks to you. So in our service, we take a moment to greet one another. Now is that time. I'll ring the chime in a minute to bring us back together. Please greet your neighbors.
So in honor of Juneteenth, we're actually going to sing a couple of traditional African American spirituals. You you all that work together as partner songs. So you all are going to join me. I'm going to teach you one of the songs, and I'm going to sing the other one. So I'm going to sing the song that you all are going to sing first. It goes like this. You probably know. All night, all day, angels watching over me, my Lord. All night, all day, angels watching over me. You got that? Yeah. Try it a couple times. Ready? Ready to sing. All night, all day, angels watching over me, my Lord. All night, all day, angels watching over me. One more time. All night, all day, angels watching over me, my Lord. All night, all day, angels watching over me. That's all you got. When I bring you in, just come in and keep singing it. All right. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan and what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home with me. All night, all day, angels watching over me, my Lord. All night, all day, angels watching over me. All night, all day, angels watching over me, my Lord. All night, all day, angels watching over me. Keep going. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan and what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. Of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Tomorrow is Juneteenth, and on that day, 158 years ago, enslaved people in Texas received their freedom, promised for so long. Juneteenth is now celebrated across the United States and beyond. For those who won their freedom that day, and for all those struggling that all may be free, we light our chalice. In their honor and memory, we light this chalice. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing number 1030, Siyahamba.
Siyahambe kukanyen kwenkos, siyahambe kukanyen kwenkos, siyahambe kukanyen kwenkos, siyahambe kukanyen kwenkos, siyahamba, hamba siyahamba, hamba siyahamba kukanyen kwenkos, siyahamba, hamba siyahamba, hamba siyahamba kukanyen kwenkos. We are marching in the light of God. 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 We are marching, marching, we are marching, marching, we are marching in the light. Marching, we are marching, marching, we are marching in the light of God.
Please remain standing as we unite our voices in the covenant of this community. Love is the teaching of this church. The quest of truth is its daily task, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve life in community, to the ends that all souls shall grow in harmony. This is our covenant with each and with all. You may be seated.
Welcome everyone to your favorite game show. What do you know about MVUC? Say it with me. What do you know about MVUC? My name is Ann Richards and I am the host this morning, and I'd like to invite you to welcome our contestant this morning. This is the Reverend Christian Schmidt. He's been serving here at Mount Vernon Unitarian Church for 2 years as interim minister. He likes music and sports. I understand, Christian, that you sing yourself sometimes. Have you had a chance to sing for us while you were here?
A little bit, yeah, just a little bit.
When did you do that?
I've done it twice this spring. I did songs.
That's great.
A little bit later today.
You look a little nervous, Mr.
A little bit. I don't know what
Yes?
the questions are going to be. So
That's right. This is a game show. And now we're going to start with our first question this morning. Let's have a little round of applause. Well, thank you. So here's our first question. Here we go. You've been asked to check out the snake pit. It has been requested that you A, visit the reptile house at the zoo in the district, B, watch a film starring Olivia de Havilland, C, go down to the cellar where we keep our snakes and storage, or D, investigate DC politics.
That's C.
That is correct. Now for your next question. Which do we not have here at MVUC? A, foxes in the meadow. B, a newt under the office siding. C, turkeys in the turkey sheds. Or D, deer in the parking lot. Which do we not have?
Any more?
Any more?
Okay. C.
Turkeys in the turkey sheds. That is correct. Christian, would you say that a program council is A, representatives from each area of MVC life who meet monthly, B, Phyllis and Maria, who put together the order of service programs, C, the city council from Program Virginia, or D, jailers who run inmate programs and must count cells? A, that is right. Representatives from each area of MVU's life will be monthly. Excellent. Now, Christian, it's time to choose your essay question. You have 15 seconds to tell us everything you know about item A or B. Which will it be, A or B?
B.
B, windmills. You have 15 seconds to tell us everything you know about windmills, and go.
So windmills in general use wind power to do something to generate that into rotational power into vertical power to the pistons, usually to pump something like water. This windmill no longer does that. It's purely for decoration.
That is excellent. Now we're beginning the second half of our game show this morning, and with this, you get multiple choice questions. These questions are a little harder, so you may ask a friend. Are you ready?
Yes.
What is the primary exit for our fourth graders to escape Holland Hall in case of fire? A, exit the morning room, walking down the hall, then taking the center staircase down to the back door that leads to Holland Hall patio. B, exit the morning room and walk down the hall to the library. Walk across the library and take the back stairs down to the Boxwood Gardens. C, exit the blue room and walk across the hall to the library. Walk across the library and take the back stairs down to the Boxwood Gardens. Or D, exit the morning room through the French windows. Go out on the breakfast porch roof. Pull the ladder out and extend it down to the ground, then climb down to the herb garden. Would you like help?
I'm going to need to phone a friend for that one. Yeah.
All right. Anybody know the answer to this one? Oh, you have a choice here.
All right.
Would you like to?
I think Leah's a good choice.
No, that's secondary. Primary.
Oh, no.
We rehearse with our secondary exit because the primary exit, should the fire be coming up the center staircase, which the firemen tell us is the likelihood, our primary is to go out on the porch and lower a ladder down into the garden. So we practice with our secondary, which is what Leah was saying. Yes, that is right. Let's go. This is another one for help. Please be listening. For example, Ron Brandt. Which of the following is true? A, well-known UU Reverend Mark Morrison Reed used to live in the carriage house. B, famous jazz guitarist Charlie Byrd formed in a circle in front of Holland Hall. C, in the 60s, the Freedom Riders left from our parking lot to test laws against racism further south. Or D, the barbershop quartet, the Buffalo Bills, known for its run on Broadway in The Music Man, performed outdoors on this hill. Would you like some help? Which of those is true?
Because I know the Freedom Riders did work here. I'm not sure they left directly from our parking lot.
They did.
Did they? Oh, is that the right answer?
No.
Oh, okay.
Keep going.
Okay. I know Mark Morrison Reed lived here, but I don't believe it was the carriage house.
It was.
Was it? I was told it was a different building. No, is that wrong?
I was told the carriage house. Let's just say he lived on the hill. What else?
Okay. I forget what the other two are now. So
They
I'm not
are
familiar
the
with that
Buffalo
singing
Bills
group. I'm
and the
sorry.
Charlie
The only
and
Buffalo
Charlie
Bills
Byrd.
I know play football. So I'm not sure about that one.
No. This was a very
Charlie,
famous.
Charlie Parker? I don't know
Yes.
if he played here or not.
He did. Charlie Byrd. Charlie Byrd.
Sorry.
Yeah, Charlie
Wrong
Parker
Charlie.
was known as the Bird.
Yes,
but
that's
this
why
is
I'm
Charlie
confused.
Byrd.
Sorry.
Mhm.
All right, Ron, I
Guess
need
what?
help.
All, yes, did you hear it? Say it.
All?
All of the above. We're for our last question. This is another essay. You have 15 seconds. It's your last one. Which would you like to describe? A or B?
I'll do A this time.
A favorite memory from MVUC.
Aw. All right, I need a couple seconds.
We'd like to thank you all for joining us for our special game show. What do you know about MVUC? If you didn't know this much, you might want to check out a book co-written with Ron Brandt, done a lot of research of people I'm looking at right now. You can find it in the book nook, History of MVUC. Ready?
Right, there are so many, but the one that came instantly to my mind was our variety show a few months ago for the youth group to raise money for their trip to Boston. It was just exciting to see what everybody can do and would willingly do for us. That was one of the times I sang, and it was just a lovely event. And really, if y'all do that again, come please. We had a great crowd. It was really fun. So.
Thank you. That was great. We'd like to join you. Thank you for joining us for our special show, which is called, read it with me, What Do You Know About MVUC? Thank you. Now we're going to sing our kids out. We're going to do something special. If you have children who are going to RE this morning, we'd like you to accompany them briefly. We'll send you back in just a moment. But if everybody go with me out to the Commons, and those of you who are staying here, you can sing us out using the words you'll find in your order of service.
We come now to the morning offering. At this time, MVUC asks each of us to show our spiritual and material generosity. I give because MVUC offers an inclusive environment, regardless of where we've been, what we believe, or whom we love. Each week, we share the plate with the charitable organization that you, our members, have chosen. This week's offering is shared with Rising Hope. Rising Hope supports and empowers people experiencing food insecurity and homelessness along the Route 1 corridor. I invite you to contribute whatever you are most comfortable with to Rising Hope and to this church community. If you would like to write a check for the offering, please make it to MVUC, and in the memo line, indicate what it is for. You can also go to our website to give directly. We are grateful for your donation. During the offering, you are welcome to come forward in silence to light a candle of joy or sorrow. And now, will the ushers please come forward for the morning offering?
I want to offer a brief explanation about the next two songs that I'm going to be doing. So as many of you may know, Leonardo, my son, he just turned 2 yesterday. So my first Father's Day was spent in the hospital. It was unexpected. He was about a month early. So to sort of process a lot of this, I decided my son really needed a playlist. So I got on Spotify, started creating a playlist. It's grown over time. But when I was asked to sing at this service, I said, you know, it's Father's Day, so I really want to honor that and do some songs off of Leonardo's playlist. So these are 2 of those songs. So. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Wanna change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. You will find in your mind there's a world of endless fascination. No no more fun place to be than in your imagination. You can dream any dream, you can savor every situation. Life in there's a sensational sensation. If you want to see magic lands, close your eyes and you will see one. Wanna be a dreamer, be one. Anytime you please, and please save me one. There is no place to go to compare with your imagination. So go there to be free if you truly wish to be.
I want to invite us all to take a few moments to prepare ourselves for a time of silent reflection followed by spoken words. So get comfortable in your seat, get any wiggles out, take a deep breath perhaps. And join me now in a time of silence. Our words today come from Rod Richards. They're called Father's Day Meditation. On this Father's Day, we recognize the vast spectrum of experience and the often complicated feelings that surround such a celebration. We honor those fathers and father figures in our lives who have loved, supported, encouraged, and instructed us. And we seek to share these gifts with others. We mourn with those who mourn the loss of a father, fathers who mourn the loss of a child. Whether separated by death or estrangement, we support those for whom this day brings pain and sorrow, who suffered abandonment, neglect, or abuse. We support and celebrate the fathers in our midst who give of themselves to their children, recognizing all the strength and wisdom and stamina and love and time and honest introspection that fatherhood requires. We support those men who choose not to have children, yet who are present and loving and supportive ways to children, youth, and adults alike. And we seek to honor wherever we find ourselves today, across this vast spectrum of experience, and to feel the compassion that embraces us within this silence. Amen. Please remain seated and join me in singing once again. Number 101, Abide with Me.
Abide with me, Vesper.
Today's reading is entitled Goodbyes Are Hard by Lauren Robbins. Goodbyes are hard, so hard, in fact, that many of us skip that step within our relationships. Whether saying goodbye, as in, see you later, or goodbye as a final step in creating closure in a relationship, we often deny ourselves the opportunity to practice this important human interaction. For many people, goodbyes are uncomfortable. They provide the opportunity to both experience and express the value that the relationship or the person has had in our life. This vulnerability, displaying the difficulty we may experience in separating from one another, is a common challenge in a world where many are told to stay strong, avoiding all chances that you might cry, express other emotions, or be perceived as overly sensitive. That's all bogus. The human condition is about experiencing emotions and connecting with others through relationships. Saying goodbye is a cathartic exercise in interpersonal connection and validating the impact people and experiences have on our lives. It's important to honor the footprint others leave on our heart. It's equally important to recognize that not all relationships are meant to be lifelong. Many are time limited. They are established for a specific reason, and when life circumstances shift, as they inevitably do, the relationship no longer serves its previous function. It's okay to let relationships ebb and flow, and let some float away. That doesn't mean they didn't matter. We're continuously evolving. According to our needs, change, and so do the relationship that fulfill those needs. So practice saying goodbye. Do what feels right to express the value that their friendship and their support or their camaraderie has for you. Allow others to see the impact that their presence has on you. And when it's time to say goodbye, whether just for now or forever, know that in saying goodbye, you're not devaluing the time spent with this person, but saying, you matter and you've been part of my story. Goodbyes may be hard, but that doesn't mean we should pretend they don't exist. Emotional discomfort often equals emotional growth, something we all need to continually pursue joy and life satisfaction.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I was a sculptor, but then again, no. Or a man who makes potions in a traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I sat on the roof and I kicked off the moss. Well, a few of these verses, well, they've got me quite cross. But the sun's been quite kind while I wrote this song. It's for people like you that keep it turned on. So excuse me for getting, but these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is what I really mean. Yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is now you're in the
I've now spent most of my career in ministry doing what we call transitional ministry, which is interim or developmental or short-term contract. We have a bunch of different names, and there are some important differences that are not important today. Anyway, that sort of thing. The upside to this form of ministry is that it's very rarely boring. But one of the downsides is that you do a lot of saying hello, and by the time you've figured anything out, it's time to say goodbye. And so today is in part about saying goodbye. As I keep saying, I do have one more service with you in July. I'm going to talk about baseball, among other things, so come to that. But I know that as we close up our primary church year and enter into the summer program, this is perhaps the last chance I'll have to see many of you on a Sunday morning anyway. So today I want to say goodbye and to give thanks for all of you who have helped me in my role here, and to share a little bit about what I've learned and what I hope for you, which, especially that last part, is pretty delicate. One of the tenets of interim ministry is that though my job is very much focused on setting up the conditions for successful ministry in the future, I'm also not supposed to make any proclamations or set directions for what that future should be, because that is truly up to you and your new settled minister. It's why, though I have often talked about we and us during my time as interim minister, I've been trying to move to the second and third person recently, your congregation, what this congregation will do. Because soon I will not be a part of it at all. And of course, for a while now, and this is normal and I'm not lamenting it, my authority and influence have been waning, as they should. You've been looking ahead, and that's right. But of course, we don't live or work or minister in a vacuum. We are formed by what has come before us, and we affect what comes after us too. And this is certainly true for interim ministry, especially if we are to be more than simply a placeholder. I had a long list of things we've done together, and I pared it down to just a couple that I thought were really especially important. Some of the most important things I think we've done has been navigating a pandemic together. And then also related to that, finding a way to be finding a new way forward to be both in person and to keep some of the best things we've learned about virtual ministry and try to do both of those well, or at least adequately, maybe moving towards well. I've spent a lot of time talking to leaders here especially, but a little bit to the congregation at large, about the future and some of the trends in ministry and in church life. Because we have some challenges in budgeting this year. I have every confidence those will be solved, hopefully as painlessly as possible. But there are long-term trends too, and some of those will be really important about how to steward our resources going into the future, how to make them a part of a vital church community that continues for a long time, because it's a difficult atmosphere in many ways for especially sort of relatively traditional religious congregations like ours. Maybe not traditional in theology, but traditional in how we do church. I do invite you once again to come to the budget meeting after service today. You'll hear a lot more about some of those things. And I want to reiterate some things I've said here before and things I said to the board yesterday at their leadership retreat. So if you were there, this might be kind of boring, but actually I said these, yesterday, sorry. Feels like a long time ago sometimes yesterday, doesn't it? And the thing I particularly wanted to lift up is that our society and a lot of leaders in our society frame leadership as about solving problems. And I've actually found that there's a lot less problem solving than you would wish for. Because problem solving is it's wonderful in some ways. You have a problem that you can actually fix and do something about and sort of be done with it, at least for a while. This has not been my actual experience of leadership. And I got language for this a few years ago that really helped me. And I mentioned it here before, but I'll mention it again. I think most of leadership, perhaps a lot of life for that matter, is about managing polarities. Now I'm going to unpack that language. That is that many times in life we're trying to find what is an ever-shifting balance between two important but opposed, maybe more than two, but at least two opposed ideals. So that's abstract. I'm going to give some examples, and these are present in every congregation I've worked with, but have been important here in my time at Mount Vernon Unitarian Church. And I strongly anticipate will be important going into the future. So one of the things that we're always managing in congregational life is tradition and innovation. Churches are, by their very being, tied to tradition. We believe in doing things over and over again, in living into deep traditions. And we have to be willing to change some of them, and this is a constant balance we're striving to seek. It's the past and the future. It's the way things have been and the way things might be. And that's not just churches, that's life. Human beings crave regularity, and we live in a world that is always changing, that we can't always have consistency in. In fact, consistency would be the wrong thing in many times. So that's one of the ones that I think will continue to be important. Something I found in my own life again, but in church life, is between depth and breadth. Should we do a couple things really well, really intensely? You probably know people like this in your life who do exactly that. Or do we have to do a lot of things with the quality varying, sometimes not so great? Congregations always struggle with this. What can we do well, and what are people passionate about, and how do we not do 78 things instead of doing a few things really well? I don't have the answer to that. There isn't an answer. That's my very point today, is we have to continually have those conversations and find a balance. Related to that is the one between inreach and outreach. That is, are we here to serve our members, to give pastoral care, to provide support to one another, or are we always striving to reach out to our larger communities? Are we always trying to bring more people in to have larger influence in what we do? And the answer, of course, is yes. We have to do both of those things, and there's no magic balance between them. We have to keep exploring and finding that. There's a polarity between freedom and responsibility that's enshrined in the UUA principles, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. Unitarian Universalists have had a deep commitment to freedom, sometimes an extreme commitment to freedom, that you're free to do anything you want, to believe anything you want, and that's not true. We have a lot of freedom, but not endless freedom, because we have to be responsible in what we say and do and think too. We have to realize that we're in community with other people, that anything we want to do might not be the thing that we should do. That's one that continues. One I've already mentioned, but I'll mention once again, is budgeting conservatively versus fully funding our dreams. I'd like to do both of those things. I don't think I can do both of those things. Because even if one of us hit the lottery today and donated $100 million, I'm sure we would find dreams that exceeded that $100 million budget. These are good things, both of them. We want to be responsible with our money, be good stewards of the resources we have. And we would love to support all our goals and dreams fully, more than fully even. So we have to find some balance, something that your board and the congregation in general are working to do. The last one I want to lift up, I've really struggled with the language on, but I think I finally found language I like on it. And I'll call the two poles inclusion and particularity. We are a broad tent community, right? We welcome people, or we strive at least to welcome people, however imperfectly, from many backgrounds, who believe many different things, who have many different ideas about the world. And at the same time, we have to keep our particularity, that this Mount Vernon Unitarian Church, that Unitarian Universalism at large has a particular idea. We don't welcome everything. If you believe that some people are not as good as other people based on the color of their skin, for instance, that is not welcome here. You might be welcome here, but not that view. I don't, again, think there's an answer to that. It's something we have to keep striving towards, striving with. I don't even know what the right word is. The other thing I wanted to talk about today, and this does strike a little note about the future, is expectations. Not just here, but in every congregation I've served, one of the things that has been difficult is unspoken, unwritten expectations, because you don't find out about them until you've screwed it up, is my experience. And so I strive with congregations I work with to tell them to make as many of their expectations explicit as possible, spoken, written, communicated. And that's something I have strongly encouraged your board and leadership to do with your new settled minister. There are mechanisms for startups and things in which this will happen. But there's also other things. A lot of people are confused about how our community works because we're not always really clear about what our expectations of membership are. I try really hard to do this. We have expectations of our members. We have expectations about how they'll be in this community, about how they'll support this community. We have expectations for how our various boards and committees and governance will run. Sometimes those expectations are confusing and contradictory. We should fix that. But we have those, and it's better to be really clear about what they are so that at least we know when we're failing. All right. What have I learned? I have a list of things. Actually, I'm going to come back to that in a second. I'm going to change the order of things here, because I did want to say a couple personal things. I haven't shared a lot about it here. This has been a difficult time for my family in some ways. The more observant of you might have noticed, I started here in my ministry with 4 children and now have 3. That's because one of my nephews, who had lived with us for several years, is now back in Texas, living with other family members in what seems like a better situation for him and for everyone. That's a good thing, but it was a hard thing. And we've also, and this is not just me, not just my family, but many of us, been living and parenting in a pandemic, something that none of us in living memory have experienced before. And it's been hard. And that's not an expectation I had that the congregation would make it easier for me, just a reality. I've felt very supported here in my ministry, and still it's been hard. I also want to say how fabulously this congregation, and especially Ann Richards, our Lifespan spiritual growth director, has welcomed my family. And I say Ann specifically because of how she's welcomed my youngest, John, who has autism and needs significant support. He's been really happy here, often in the nursery, though he's technically too old to be in the nursery. And he actually wakes up wanting to come on Sundays, which is good since he doesn't have any choice about whether he comes or not. But it's better if he's excited about something, isn't it? All right, what have I learned? Just a few short points. I've learned, and I knew this from day one, actually even before I started, that this congregation has a lot going for it, and like all of our congregations, challenges to face. I've learned that it's a very lovely campus. It's been fun to be here on weekdays when there aren't that many people here and sort of roam around the grounds. I like to take at least one walk a day when I'm here. But I also know that it's a very expensive campus to run. And those are perhaps a polarity right there, having a lovely campus and having to deal with it. And I've learned that I love this congregation and wish and hope and expect the very best for you in the future. So thank you. And not quite goodbye, but the beginning of goodbye, perhaps. Amen. Thank you. So Mark asked a few weeks ago about this service, and I said I want to do all of my favorite hymns, some of my favorite hymns anyway. So that's what we've been doing today. And therefore, I invite you to rise in body or spirit and sing one of my favorites, number 131, Love Will Guide Us.
Please join us in the words we say each week as we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Please be seated. Our benediction today is a traditional Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you, and the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall softly, softly on your fields. And until we meet again, And until we meet again, my friends, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Please be seated for our post. You're already seated.
Hi, everyone. It's probably my first time in front of you. Speaking of goodbyes, this is dedicated to Miss Anna Mae Bullock, who left her body May 24th, 2023. When I was a little girl, I had a rag doll, the only doll I ever owned. Now I love you just the way I love that rag doll, but only now my love has grown, and it grows stronger in every way, and it grows deeper, let me say, and it grows higher, baby, day by day. Do I love you, my oh my, river deep, mountain high, and if I lost you, would I cry? Oh, how I love you, baby, 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 baby. When you were a young boy, did you have a puppy that always followed you around? Well, I'm gonna be as faithful as that puppy. No, I'll never let you down, 'cause it goes on like a river flows, and it gets bigger, and heaven knows, and it gets sweeter, baby, as it grows. And do I love you, my oh my, river deep, mountain high, and if I lost you, would I cry? Oh, how I love you, baby, 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 baby. I love you, baby, like the flowers love the spring. And I love you, baby, more than Tina loves to sing. And I love you, baby, like a schoolboy loves his pie. And I love you, baby, river deep, mountain high. And do I love you, my oh my, yeah, river deep, mountain high, yeah, yeah. And if I lost you, would I cry? Oh, how I love you, baby, 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 baby. Thank you.